You want me to? Is it going to be rolling or are we going to be on? You want me to start it?
Go ahead.
Whoa! Welcome in, Woodward Wings. Special edition.
Woo! Let's go, boys!
There's Justin. Spenny's on his way. Wow! D-Boss. Still in Lark, the captain. Getting it done in overtime. I just said to Justin, holy, stealing 2 points, Batman.
Wow, I mean, they were all over you in the second and the third period, but you found some life at the back half of the third. You capitalized on the power play when you got chances. The PK stepped up. That is one of the best power plays in the entire NHL. Star-studded from front to back, and you shut them down multiple times, and then you come out and D-Boss buries it. Come on!
You know, that's
Merry freaking day before Christmas, people.
Dallas with unbelievable power play, and even though they did get 2 power play goals, just the resilience of the PK, the penalty that Edvardson was able to draw, which Randon picked him and stuff like this, but to cash in, right, to be able to cash in on what a play by JVR. Let's talk about, between his legs to Dylan to tie the game, and then you saw in overtime. So this team continuing to get it done. Big wins this Christmas week, so we'll take it. That stat beforehand, now that puts us to 47 points, to top 5 in the league.
In the league.
In points.
Clear above even the games played that you have. They can't catch you if they go undefeated. Like you have a cushion. Like we're talking about a cushion on the brink of the best December this team has had in 10 years. Like we are watching a team that appears to be ascending, and it's because of every player behind the Stars, on top of the Stars being Stars, but we always talk about this. The support is playing so well, where it's like the JVR pass to Larkin.
Well, you're not missing and that's the thing. And shout out to the veteran James Van Riemsdyk, because you're missing the production of Patrick Kane, but he can slide into that number 1 power play front of the net spot and give you a different look and be an essential. And you give it up to Rasmussen and Comfer and their line early on to get the goal early, but you need production throughout the lineup, not just the Stars. The Stars got to be Stars, as Dylan was, to be able to tie it up and to score in overtime, but it's just getting yourself and putting yourself in that position. We had a conversation while we were watching the game about, I asked you, I said, doesn't it look different? It looks a little bit different as these guys are getting more comfortable. And what did you say to me?
They're getting comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Comfortable being uncomfortable, and that is the next step. And Todd McClellan, you brought up a great point also, too, that if you took over his last calendar 82 games as a coach, this is a 100-point team. So he's got him playing real well. Shout out to John Gibson, too, who, making the saves when he has to establish himself as the number 1. But you're just, you're taking care of business, and you nailed it. We all know that the season comes in that stretch, the end of February and March, where we haven't been productive at all in the past 3 years. But to get these points right now, it's imperative. So shout out to the guys, and that'll make Christmas morning feel a little bit better.
Oh, no doubt. And now we have the roster freeze. The boys are going to go on break, and a well-deserved break. They are 8-3 in their last 11 games, playing some of the best hockey that I have seen from this franchise in a long time. I mean, honestly.
Well, it could complete, because if you did watch this game and you saw it at different times, Dallas showed you why they're the second best team in the NHL throughout their lineup. But the resilience that your team showed, and what I liked to that being uncomfortable, being comfortable being uncomfortable, is they didn't try to do each other's jobs. There was a shift there. Go ahead, go get Spenny. There was a shift in the second period that your third defense pair, Albert Johansson and Bernard Docker, got stuck out there for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And yes, there might have been a couple chances against, but nothing too implorable. I was just commenting, Justin, on the 3 minute and 10 second Johansson and Docker shift, right?
Yeah.
You never want your third pair to get caught out like that. But again, nobody panicked.
No.
Nobody panicked.
Nice.
And to the point where the little things and the little parts of the game that I look for is there was a play up the wall where JT Comfer committed himself to take a pretty big hit to get the puck in, but get over the red line, to do the little things and not take it for an icing. So that's bailing each other out at those points.
And
here he comes.
Raxter joining the set as we have to get his thoughts.
Which one is it?
You can
wireless.
Yeah, you can go in the middle.
And so we got to read some chats. Thank you for popping out. Already got 87 people in here early. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
It's 15, right?
Yes.
What a win.
You want me to scoot in the middle?
Yeah.
All right. Now, and Spenny has brought victory treats for all. Go Red Wings. Let's go Lions. Hell yeah, KB Michael. We appreciate you keeping up. What a beauty win
and a crustable.
from Tony.
I love it. And a crustable. This is the new Mccarty strain that we're gonna try after.
I didn't even see this. Taylor's in the chat. Raymond kissing Larkin on the cheek after the game winner was such a mood. All right. I mean, hey, if that's the power of friendship, if that's what gets the job done, that's what it takes. But we are talking about the first place Detroit Red Wings right now, Spenny. And, I mean, that was just what a way to win it, man. You just steal 2 points. After stealing 2 points from Washington as well, it is just a great day to be a Red Wing.
It really is. And shout out to the boys. Obviously, one of the best teams in the NHL in the Dallas Stars coming into town. They've got 3 guys in the top 5 of scoring on the power play, and that's where they made a lot of their money in this one. They had a lot of opportunities, and they cashed in a lot of them just because how much they can control the puck in the zone is so impressive on that power play. But the power plays would save the Red Wings, too. Emmett Finney in front of the net, bangs one home on the backhand. And then the power of the Gray Bush. They're just the nasty between the legs saucer for Dylan Larkin's game tire,
we were going crazy.
And here's another thing, because we were touching on a couple things, Spenny, about the maturity that we're watching. Justin had said it. This team is becoming comfortable being in uncomfortable situations. You don't miss anything. Yes, you miss Patrick Kane and some production, but when you can stick the greasy veteran Graybush in there like JVR, not only with the first goal of the game with his line with Comfer and Rasmussen being out there effective down the lineup, whether it's your third or fourth line, but also too sticking them in there, greasy little between the leg to tie it up at that moment, right? Because that's what you needed, and that's the timing that you needed. And then obviously Larkin being able to finish it off in overtime. It's such a huge, and knowing this from past experiences going into Christmas, even though like your break is short and whatever, but it just makes it so much better. I'm good. Thank you though.
Yeah, I bet. And Dante 151 999 super chat. Red Wings won again. I'm so freaking pumped with the Red Wings and Pistons to do that against the team that came into tonight 25-6-6, now 25-7-6. Chef's kiss. Wings now have 47 points. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And this is just we're talking about. So I mean, first you got to highlight the captain. I mean, 3 points. I mean, he was getting chippy. He was sticking up for his guys. And then he comes out after taking the penalty and scores the game winner and the tire on the PP as well. Talk about how our captain is playing at a 1C level right now.
This is by far the best year of Dylan Larkin's career so far. The way he's got off to this start has been so impressive. 20 goals on the season already, on pace for 40+. He is, like you said, I think he learned it real big in that Four Nations where, when I start mucking it up, that's when I can really get other guys going. And when he was put up there with guys like on the fourth line, it showed him to muck it up. And then he gets up on that first line with the Tkachuk brothers, and he's like, oh, you can muck it up and be an asshole and still be really skilled and score a bunch of goals. And I think that's what really helped him unlock that part of his game and use it more. And like you said, going up against a Dallas Stars team, big, physical, they like to play the body. You needed him to do that. And shout out to Larks, man. He has been a beauty all season. And just 2 big goals in this one, obviously.
They got such a big team, like saying Dallas and whatever. And to me, it's always like you need the support, guys, no matter how good your number one guy is, but when he's leads by example, right? So work ethic. And I was telling Justin, we were talking about, getting Raymond to shoot more and stuff like this. I don't worry about that first line. They're going to go. But if they get support and they don't feel like they got to weather the storm and it's all on their backs every night, which it has been for the past how many seasons, right? So now getting production and help out of the rest of the lineup. And like you said, you look at it that Dallas team, that's what you're going to see in the playoffs. Yeah. Look at Brandon's 230. Yeah. Ben's their third line center at 215, 220, playing against different guys. But that's what you're going to face in the playoffs. So you need different guys to step up. I thought Ben Sherratt was really good tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he steps up when your team needs it on the PK. I mean, the block shots and just doing the stuff that you got to do when you play his style of hockey. And he's a leader of this team. The boys rally around him, the way that he blocks shots. And I think DMac can definitely speak to that. When a guy's willing to just put his body on the line time after time, no matter how much abuse he's taking, it just riles up the fellas. And you saw it in the third period after all those penalty kills. Then they just get the power play, little bit of life. Just the ice was completely tilted the other direction, a little bit of life on the power play. Boom, they score. Different game. Yeah. Then it's slanted in their direction. They just start taking over the game. Like, that's the stuff that you don't see in the box score, but that has a morale impact on the locker room. And that's what Ben Sherratt did tonight.
I think that game right there was a playoff game as far as the way the ebbs and flows go to it, the way that at the first period we were dominant, but you knew Dallas was going to come back, and they put the press on and did what they were supposed to do and capitalizing with one of the league's best power plays, and we still were resilient and didn't quit. And that's what I love out of the team. You didn't see the panic. Yeah. No. You didn't. And in the past, you see guys trying to do other guys' jobs and guys not going. Like I said, if you go back, and I think it was the second period, but the 3-minute and 10-second shift that your third defense pair has, let me break that down. That means you're probably played, if they rolled 4 lines, you're playing the first line, one line twice, and all the rest of them once, which means guys get a crack at you. Conditioning's a big thing, so that goes a long way, and there was no panic.
And shout out to JBD. Not only that shift, but I think he did a good job of providing a little physical spark in there, throwing some guys into the boards, getting his body in the game, and he wants to stay up here with this team. He doesn't want to go back to Grand Rapids or be moved around and stuff again, or be that seventh defenseman on the roster. So he knows that he's going to have to do some things like that. I saw him get some big hits in the neutral zone, so I was happy with what I saw out of him.
I like Docker for sure.
And it's tough for them. They're both young defensemen going against, like DMac said, a bunch of 200-pound forwards who love to hit with a lot of skill and a lot of talent, and it takes a lot out of you. It wasn't the best from them, but they had shifts where you needed them to make, like DMac said, the 3-minute shift, where you needed them to just weather the storm a little bit, and they did that, and that's what you need out of a third pairing. We're not asking the third pairing to be Sider and Edvindson. We're just asking them to weather the storm. And the way Fan hits it, or no, my bad. He's just happy DMac's in the house, and so are we. Jason Pratt, Gibby, 8 in a row. That is 8 wins in a row for John Gibson. A 9.1 and above save percentage, playing lights out, true number 1 goaltender-ish. Yeah. And DMac said it when we were just watching the game. You got to go with the hot hand. You got to keep gunning with him.
I had a conversation. I was up in the gondola about a month ago, and I was asking Eddie Mio, former goalie, who's still alumni goalie and stuff like that. Wayne Gretzky's best man at his wedding. Nice. And he brought up a great point. He said, listen, it's about time you're going to see them. They brought in John Gibson to be the number 1, not the tandem, and he's a guy that's always been the number 1. So think about it this way: some guys thrive more. Now you could say, well, he hasn't earned it, but it's sort of like you brought him in. This is why we made him. Now let him go, and now you're seeing him build confidence. You brought up a great point. If you want to watch John Gibson, or if you're messing around, go back to the first 3 months of the season and look at highlights of how quick or how fidgety he was with his feet cross ice. Right now he's stoic. And Justin, as a hockey player, said to me, so when guys like follow you and are stoic, like they're still quick, but it's not like they're bouncing or they're itchy, stuff like that. It's harder. Yeah. And it definitely is because you're just following me and going, and he looks totally control of everything in front of him.
Yeah, he's in that flow state right now that you see these goaltenders get into, and whatever those weirdos got to do to get into that spot, you just hope they stay in it for a long time. And like earlier in the season, Gibby was getting beat bad glove side and getting 5-holed a lot, and that is a sign of a veteran goalie. Maybe not as comfortable in the area. And, maybe I saw a different goalie for the Red Wings kind of showing him around the city, maybe taking him to coffee shops in Birmingham or different things like that. Shout out Jimmy Howard. But I don't know what it was that got Gibby going, but now he's comfortable on his new team, and we're seeing him be what he has been his whole career, which is a solidified number one goaltender.
And it's just really given me a lot more hope that if we do get into the playoffs, we're going to be a tough out.
Yeah.
And it's not just going to be like, no matter who we play in the East, honestly, like no team in the East necessarily. There's no gimmies.
No.
But you're not a gimme. Like,
no, and there you go. As in
and if you would have made it last year, you would have been a gimme. You would have got swept or you would have lost in 5. This year, I think this is a team that could go 6 or 7 with any team in the Eastern Conference.
Well, look at the adjustments they've made, and I mentioned this, but it's really the speed, and you've seen how they've given a John Leonard an opportunity, and it cost you burgers, but maybe he wasn't doing anything here anyway. So good luck.
Great
to him
move.
in St. Louis. No, but where you can put him up on a line with Alex DeBrincat and stuff, and your offensive units just look more well balanced right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, to the fact because you have that speed and you have, a different look, but you're getting different production through different guys. Just imagine what happens when Marco Kasper gets going.
Yeah.
So you still got that, and that's I'm not worried about that. Right, because there's other. I think it's just like the one thing is why you saw him sit out is for a regroup, just because offense, like when you are, so when you have a setback, all right, or you're not producing the way that you expect to be producing, you can't let it feed into the parts of your game that are your asset, right? Yeah. And when it does, that's just sort of a timeout. So he's doing enough to help him win. He'll sort of find a way, but he's also been asked to burden a whole much more responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where other guys got to bail him out. Because it don't matter as long as at the end of the day you get 2 points.
And he's not on the line with DeBrincat and Kane anymore, just getting these easy setups and getting golden opportunities because they're paying so much attention to Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat. He's a guy that they're focused on when he's out there on the ice with other guys, so he has to create more for himself. And I thought he had another good game today. Unfortunately, he didn't get on the board, but he's just doing the right things. Like he's getting down deep. He's winning puck battles behind the net. And if he keeps doing that, he's going to get the scoring going. I'm not too worried about that. But I do want to talk about John Leonard because I think what is that like, DMac, for a guy like John Leonard who's played, a handful of games in the NHL, and then you get him going in the AHL where he's kind of one of the older guys, and then boom, welcome to the show. You're on the second line replacing the greatest American player of all time.
No, I think it's opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think he showed it in camp, and he showed it the way, like, you go out there and lead the Griffins with the record that they have in goals and be the AHL Player of the Month and stuff like this. I just love that, the things that the opportunities there. These guys, these younger guys are being given the opportunity. And, he's played before, but he's somebody that you see knows how to play hockey, and he's a guy that can find the back of the net.
Yeah.
Right. And it's are these guys, because you're building it and you're seeing that you can go win, and it's a little bit different game. But what you saw tonight is in a Dallas team that's playoff built. Like that's what you want to emulate, size wise, the way they play. Down
the possession in the zone was just crazy.
Yeah. So
they're getting every rebound.
Yeah, no, I mean it's and so you got to keep building towards that, but definitely they weren't they're not a team that you look and say is gonna, as Justin said earlier, get blown out of the building or blown out of a series.
They look like they belong amongst these types of teams. They look like they belong on the ice against the Capitals in back-to-back games, on the ice against Dallas. Like, those are the teams, those are playoff teams, and you're 3-0 in your past 3 against them. So
you got to keep going.
Yeah.
And you always got to remember, at this point last year, we were 8 points out of a playoff spot.
Firing our coach. And playing miserable hockey. And now Newsy's running the power play for Toronto.
Some of us don't live in the past.
Yeah, so now we are looking forward to. I mean, I'm playoff meter.
Well, at this point of the season, would play it like what? No, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just setting yourself up. Like, I mean, this is enough's enough, and now it's what are you fighting that everybody else and every other thing fights is availability.
Yep.
So making sure guys are healthy. And what's interesting, though, to the conversation is if this is the trend on where you're going, because I got to believe from history or just in how when we played, how are we going to solidify this team? Where's the depth? Because I believe there will be a move. That won't hinder your team, but it has to give you more support on the back end. So the way this team's playing and the position they're putting it in is going to force Steve Yzerman to make sure you have enough in the tank.
I agree. I think they got to make a move. I believe Stevie will make a move. I don't know where it's going to be, but I think that's going to free up a spot for a guy that's in the organization right now, that started the year with the big club, and you're looking at him right now as just a pit bull on the chain you're trying to hold back in the AHL because, MBN is just fucking killing me right now.
Right? So, and it's getting those guys time, so you have that coming. Yeah, I can't wait till he shows up.
Yeah.
But you got that, and you know that, and what does that tell you? Because you're seeing it. Certain guys need different things. So right now, and what are they still only have one loss?
Yeah.
At Christmas time.
Yep. 22-1-1, I believe.
Yep. It's crazy. And
shout out to Dan Watson, the coach.
On the point of MBN, he's a playoff player.
He is.
Like, whenever he is added to this roster, you probably don't want to play him on the fourth line, but you can.
He can play anywhere.
That is an option.
Yeah.
He can play up and down 1 through 4 and be effective.
I truly believe, obviously, I don't want to even bring this up now because we're also, everybody good vibes, stuff like that. But with the March thing that is looming, that is the kind of the black spot on this Red Wings organization over the past 2 years. Obviously, Lucas Raymond, Dylan Larkin, Mo Sider, those are the guys that need to propel you through that because that's where they have kind of fallen off over the past 2 years. But to have a guy like that, young legs, ferocious hitter, nasty fucking bomb of a shot to if you start to stumble a little bit in March, you could bring him up there. He gives you a shot in the arm. I think that would be a big fit. The young legs on this team will help them propel through that March slump, I believe.
But and there you go, as far as keeping the opportunity. But what Nygaard does too, as you said, killing a guy down there, is he can play up and down the lineup, and you might not need him, right? To be out there to produce, but he can be out there and be physical. And no, do you not feel that Stevie's got a plan?
I do.
Or it's like it's slowly playing out. Now it comes to the guys have to do it, but you see how he's not afraid to he just started a guy starting 7th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Like that. So when I believe him from what he's shown from Leonard, and if we're either talking about Kosa or Nygaard or Wallander or whoever else, like whoever the next one up is, that if they can help when they're ready, because you also with what you have here too. So maybe it does come from within.
And the positivity that those guys are coming up with and the confidence that they're coming up with from Grand Rapids of, we're dominating this league, they're dominating the NHL, we're just going to keep playing like we've been playing. And you're seeing, like, John Leonard has looked great.
Yeah, he has. Great. And I didn't say that in the super chat. $5 had to start from the start because I saw DMac was on the post game with Spenny and Jay Saw. Go
Cheers.
Wings forever.
Let's go,
well,
baby.
when you see this, I didn't say that. We appreciate you, my man, for seeing the whole program. But in the chat, Icy Water, if Casper can get some momentum, then these lines are deep and dangerous. And I absolutely agree. I honestly, I know Appleton is so good on the PK, and you have to have him in the lineup. But I don't know if he is the fit over Soderblom on that line. Those three look so good together, and they just have to find any type of offensive touch. They're just not getting the bounces. Like, they're just getting rookie bounces. Like, you saw, went off Danielson's skate today.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the stuff
close.
that keeps happening to that line. And I think that they can get that momentum, and Appleton should be on the fourth.
Spenny, speaking of that, here's your DMac hockey tips for the young kids.
There we go.
And I gave it to Justin, too. If you watched Nate Danielson, there was a shot. He was driving to the net, and his stick was off the ice. So when he took it to his skate, and it bounced, and he went to put his stick down, and he missed it and went in the net. And I said to young Justin, great play to be there, but what could he have done better?
Keep your stick on the ice.
If you can learn, kids out there, that when you're not skating or when you're not hooking somebody or cross-checking them in the face, not to do that or anything like that, but when you're around, to always keep that stick on the ice, whether you're chasing a guy, whether, in the stick in the lane and stuff like this. But if you keep it on the ice, better things will happen, because it's so hard to go down and then up. If you're already down, then you sort of can react it. It's another thing like stopping at the net. That's one of the hardest things to learn, to not swing by the net. But if you can teach the kids and whatever else to always, and it's in practice, or it's when you're out there skating around or whatever, if you notice your stick up, just put it down.
Yeah.
And it's all muscle memory like anything else. So there's DMac's hockey tips.
Our man, the away fan in the chat, JVR has been the best signing for the Red Wings since Ghost and Perron. And I'd have to agree with that. And that's something that we talked about all off season, and we knew that JVR was going to be a solid depth piece as long as he wasn't playing on the first line.
Yeah.
And you got Finney for that, and he's filled that role beautifully, and that has allowed JVR to just be what you needed him to be, not do what has been happening for this Red Wings team for years with guys playing up over their skill level.
Yeah.
JVR is a depth scoring piece who can produce at any point when you need him to. He can move into any slot.
Put him on the first line on the power play where
Yep.
he doesn't have to create that speed. Emmett Finney creates that speed, and that's why Larkin and Raymond excelling, because they got a guy that keeps that speed up. Do you see that raise the sales one? We're talking about the PK, talking about raise the sales. DMac, can you speak to playing zone on PP kill rather than putting body on puck? Dallas was too comfortable setting things up. If you notice, Dallas switched.
Yeah.
Right? And they got so many. And the big thing these days is, and you hear it, and even 5-on-5, but is instead of the forwards being a 3-man rotation, it's a 5-man rotation with the D. A lot of teams do that on the power play too. Dallas does. What Detroit was trying to take away was the one-time shots. Right, so a lot of times playing that zone is you take it away, but as you see, if you don't adjust and there's quick puck movement, it leaves them open. Now, the second one was a great play. High slot tip, that's just, we call that the Sedin play, right? That's a good one. There was a couple other ones where there was nasty little sauce in the middle and stuff like that. I think that Detroit could have adjusted a little bit more, maybe, but they did enough when they needed to get it done. But that's as greasy a power play as you'll see.
Yeah, it's insane. And they're all so big and such fluid skaters on that power play. And every time you saw Robo get the puck on his stick in the middle of the ice, he would just go directly at the net. And it was putting so much pressure on the Red Wings PK, because he's so big and so skilled, and he can get his shot off so quickly that you have to collapse on him. And then that creates lanes for other people to get shots off. But I thought the Red Wings did a good job of staying alive on a lot of those power plays. But when they can just control the boards like they do, man, that is a scary unit.
And one thing I saw today as well was, early in the game, one of the first couple goals, it was a mistake made by Edmondson and Sider. Then on, lights out. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Like those two are so good together. And Edvinson, he played big today. He had that big hit in center ice, then skated the puck in for a nice chance.
Yeah,
like that's the type of stuff like Edvinson is growing into. And with Mo Seider, like imagine both of them being just dominant two-way defensemen, where it's pretty much just 1-for-1. Like you talk about, the Quinn Hughes Brock Faber combo, who are both offensive defensemen. We're talking about two-way monsters potentially, who Simon Edvinson has the luxury that Mo Seider did not, where he has a steady partner to grow with and to allow him to truly become the absolute beast as quick as possible because he has that safety net in Mo Seider.
And the Biz and Witt and the boys were talking about it, like what Mo Seider is becoming, the Doughty, the Weber kind of guy. Well, what if you had Doughty and Weber on the same pair, like with both of those guys molded? Because I always thought, and I've still thought that Simon Edvinson has the most all-around potential out of any of the defensemen we have. But with the jump that Mo Seider's taken offensively this year, man, those two guys are two do-it-all defensemen that could be out there and just dominate teams because they're so big, they're so physical, they're both mean, and they take care of business.
As my Wings fandom.
Yeah.
Right? This is, and they're different players, right? And when I use these two to compare, but what I'm seeing is sort of what I remember the young Lidstrom and the young Konstantinov, right? Now, different to not as fierce and not as elite to that, but maybe the poor man's of each. But why I say that is because one had one set of skills and the other had another set of skills, and they combined together, and that's the biggest ripoff when we're talking about Vladimir Konstantinov. And the accident is if he would have stayed playing, he could have played 12, 15 more, 10, 12 more years, but him and Nick Lidstrom would have swapped Norris's for years, right? Yeah. So and that's a lot to put on these kids, but what I'm seeing is that sort of specialty to development of having that on your back end. That's how both of them I expect to be all-stars. And because you see, right? You see the offensive.
Yeah.
They both have that offensive gift and it not affecting their defense. And my biggest thing is, can they play in all situations and can they lug minutes? And they both can.
They both do. They
get in front of shots. So they do the little things, and it's nice. And Mo's gonna always get right. Because of being a Calder guy and everything else. So it's sort of like, yeah, he was supposed to sort of do that. But what they're doing together, and it's the little things. Mo Seider made a play the other night. I'm watching the Washington game, and it's always the little things for me. But the puck goes back. He's got a guy, like, on him, whatever. And the puck's bouncing. It goes against the board. And the way he took it off the boards and knocked it down as he shielded the guy off, got it to his stick and made a pass. And you wouldn't recognize it.
Yeah.
Except I turned to, I forget who I was watching the game. It might have been Rake. I turned to Rake and I went, do you know how tough that play he just made look simple? When these guys are making those easy or those hard plays look easy, and they get you out of so much trouble because that's what it is before, right? Starts off with a turnover or somebody not winning that compete, and then everybody try to do each other's job, and boom, it's in the back of your net. That's not happening.
Well, I think that you're going to answer this question with that. John F. and Lord in the chat, what is the biggest difference you see from this year to last year?
They're starting to, so they got 4 legit defensemen.
Yeah.
Like NHL defensemen, and I'll say that about like Sherratt and Axel. Right, so and then you add in Johansson and Docker or Hamonic or whatever, so it's a feasible. You're getting more production throughout the lineup and not just having to rely, on Dylan and stuff like this. But what do I see now is they're starting, as Justin said, I think he said it the best. You're starting to see this team when it's uncomfortable for us, it's not uncomfortable for them.
Yeah.
Right, because think about it. Right, when we get the most uncomfortable, that's when you want your team to relax you and say, no worries. I don't care how we were back in the day, and there was fire drills at the end of the games and stuff like this, but when we had a lead, we locked it down. And that's what you're seeing more of, or getting the wins and the points when you need them, and stocking that up. Now, consistency is the big thing. Can we continue to do that? And that's so it's a to be determined on that question, because the things that I've seen in the past, that part of the year hasn't come yet that I needed to see different.
Yeah,
I needed to see like this at the end of February and March. We'll be all right.
And that's where I'm looking at the Todd father and what he's brought to this team. Just being there, playing fucking hockey, having the bench like ready to go, knowing that these guys are going to go out there and give it their all. Like, I don't know. I don't want to like shit on Newsy. I already did too much of that back in the day. Now I just feel kind of bad.
Wait. What did you say Newsy's doing now?
He's running the power play for Toronto.
Power play. By the way, Wyatt Johnson of the Dallas Stars has 14 power play goals, more than the Toronto Maple Leafs team.
Yeah,
so there you go.
There's
a shit stat. You shit on him with a stat right there.
Shit stat for News, but like, it's just the confidence that he instills in these guys with his demeanor and his just no bullshit attitude that he has, where if you fuck up, he's going to tell you fucked up and he's going to sit your ass down. It doesn't matter who you are.
He's your favorite uncle.
Yeah, he really is.
He's your favorite uncle.
Yeah.
Right? He's gonna pat you on the back. He's going to toss you a beer and say whatever like that, but he's also going to give you the come here and whatever and shoot it to you straight. And that's a big thing also, the way that these guys respond to him, because they do.
Because it made me – I can't remember what game it was, but Todd McClellan on the first power play of the game put out just the grimiest power play unit I saw.
I would have been out there.
Well, yeah, with a bunch of fourth-line guys. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then I see Larkin and Kane and DeBrincat and Raymond on the bench just chomping at the bit. And then they went out there and scored 2 power play goals. I'm like, all right, well – I'll shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what he does.
Scotty Bowman, right? Like, and so here's like it's Todd McClellan. It's about the we, and it's about all of us. Yeah. But the best thing about Scotty Bowman as a coach is that he knew what buttons to press on each guy. Each guy had different buttons, but you know what? No BS.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Love
but
it.
they react, right? Because that's
and they respond.
They respond. They answer. Right, so the effort I think we've all agreed it's never been the effort, right? It's just working smarter, not harder, and now you're starting to see that, the day in and day out. Because, I mean, the way that the schedule and the regular season is and stuff like this is ridiculous.
And then you're playing in the East, man. You got a game against the Western team. Awesome, it's fucking Dallas. Like, here you go, but it's a gauntlet going through there, and these big physical teams like Washington and like Dallas that would have kind of made the Wings submit or even just bullied the Wings around the ice the past couple of years, they're not doing that, and they're standing up for themselves. And I saw Razor chipping guys in the back after the play behind the net and stuff like that. It's little things. It's like, hey, buddy, we're not this pushover team anymore. And we got some big guys out there, too, to bust your ass. And that's why JVR has been so important for this team to provide not only the 5-on-5 scoring and the veteran leadership, but just physicality and size and knowing how to use his size.
And embarking that size on others.
Yeah,
like Rasmussen's playing bigger. Like all of them are. And another like free agent addition, Gibson, like that was another steal.
Yep.
And that is at least 5 steals in his last 8 games where he has stolen games.
Yeah.
Where he's been lights out. He's playing so well. And, man, it excites me. It really does. Because when Talbot is playing in his limited capacity, he's also so good. Like, he has 9-point save percentage potential in him when he's playing every third game.
Yeah, no, he's the epitome of a great backup. When you call upon him, he's ready to go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And especially, like you said, when you're riding the fire and riding the lightning with Gibson when he's playing like this, and Talbot is, like, you have an elite goalie tandem. But that's not even, like, BS. Like, you are legitimately like sealing that, and then you're talking about an elite prospect in Kosa right behind him, honestly chomping at the bit trying to get in the NHL with his 9.4 save percentage in the AHL right now.
Which and he's doing absolutely what he needs to do and what he needed to do coming into this year.
And you got Augustine down the pipe, who's leading the NCAA in every single goalie statistic. You've got Max Plante down the pipe, who's leading the NCAA in every offensive statistic. Like the amount of talent you have throughout this entire organization is just extremely impressive. And me and Justin talked about this last time, DMac. Like, not only just seeing good hockey again and experiencing wins, but the gratification of this season for Red Wings fans who have been championing Steve Yzerman and the Yzer plan and Mo Seider and Dylan Larkin and being like, hey, like Larkin hasn't played with anybody worth a shit on his line since like Hank retired, and like Mo Seider's best fucking defensive pair was Jake Wallman. Like, wait until we get some real players in here, and now getting the real players, having the young kids come up, and everything unfolding and actually working and actually resulting in wins is just so satisfying because I knew it was gonna fucking happen, but I couldn't again be like, just wait another year, guys, come on, because this is the year. This is the year they took the collars off the dogs and they let them run with everybody, and now half of them are leading the pack. It's fucking awesome.
It is awesome. And longtime Minnesota Wild fan here, Paymore Music Studio, did a wiki search on Mccarty. Wow, what a dog. Mccarty, your thoughts on the Wings not getting Hughes, and what will this do for the Wild in the playoffs? Thank you. Great show. We'll only talk about the one that regards to the Wings because you're obviously going to make the playoffs and you're a threat because you had two of the best players in the league.
And Bill Guerin was in a little bit different situation than Steve Yzerman, where he had to, like, he's got to save his job.
Yeah.
And he had to go out there, and he spent. And we sat here and go, I wasn't willing to give that return of what it would have meant of what Vancouver got in return for that. Yeah, I would love to have Quinn Hughes, but when you don't have somebody locked up, you can't take that gamble, especially because what did Spenny say? You've seen the dogs come out of the barn. You see the potential. You're not giving up on your guys, like that's the whole thing is when these guys are proven. Hey, you know what? He will give up on his guys when it's time to move on because it's about the team. What did he just do?
He just did with Bergeron.
Bergeron was one of his guys. And do you think that Berger's got all the opportunity? That right?
He had a long leash. That's for sure.
You can't right to whatever else. So you know that, but putting the team ahead, what's the best for the team? And there's guys, like you said, now pushing the envelope with the team the way that it is. There's how many guys do you think that they sit around and go, man, this guy deserves a couple games. This guy deserves a couple games. So that's what you want. Somebody in the chat said, what are they, competition or competitiveness breeds,
Yeah, it breeds greatness. It brings the best out of people. And we talked about, like, John Gibson and Cam Talbot, man, they know what Sebastian Coase is doing. They see it.
Let me just say this one thing, right? Because you talked about, like, the Yzer playing into fruition. Does everybody know what the Yzer plan, like, if I'm going to give you a motto to the Yzer plan, what it would be? The motto is that my job isn't just to get us back, right? It's that when we get back, we're here to stay for a long, long time. Now, in saying that, right, my Wings fandom, right, is the fact that I can sacrifice what happened in the last few years to know that this is the future now with these young guys that I'm seeing, the guys that are coming up, the guys that I've heard about.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing them. Now I'm seeing that, wow, group of these young guys and this development or whatever can be exactly what Stevie's talking about. So that, to me, is the payoff. Now, we're not even halfway there.
Yeah.
But
the first wave.
But so far, and because what do I say? This team, I've always said it all along. How many times I come in here and go, God damn, this team's bipolar.
Yeah.
Right? Well, they're getting their medication.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're figuring
Taking
out the
Prozac.
right. Well, whatever it is, whatever the combination medication is. So
and like now you have the ammo.
Yeah.
And if the big deal with the contract comes around, you can make that move because you have attractive
still
options.
Not out of question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you
have
might get
options.
it on the ding. Like, so it could be the win-win. And you understand why Bill Guerin went all in, right? Because he's on job alert.
Especially
also,
after signing Kaprizov to that max deal.
Dude, gotta run it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
we talked about, like, the organizational stability and having guys not only in the NHL tearing things up, like you are or I don't know if you still were, but at one point you were one of 4 teams in the NHL with 3 guys over 30 points, and obviously people are probably catching up now, but on top of that, I talked about Trey Augustine. First in save percentage, first in goals against in the NCAA. Max Plante, first in points scoring in the NCAA. Sebastian Cossa, 9.3 save percentage, second goals against, first in W's in the A. And then you've got Carter Bear in the W with 27 points in 23 games played. Brent Solomon in the USHL with 26 points in 23 games played. MBM with 18 points. Like, it is every single. And then you got Booch in the K. Like, you have so many different talented players.
Yes.
All over the world. all over the world.
World Juniors, Team Canada, Carter Bear. If you haven't seen him play, go check him out.
I'm really excited to watch him play because he's finally healthy and he's playing on a second line. I believe he's playing with Michael Hagee. That's going to be really fun to watch.
And Stevie's 3 goal scorers aren't even here yet. Like Booch, Bear, and MBN are the goal scorers.
Yes.
You got all the facilitators
up right now. Yeah.
So wait till you get that fucking heavy ass shot of that fucking Viking.
I can't wait for MBN, man.
Oh man.
And
I fucking
you
love
have a boatload of cap space.
Yeah, a lot of money.
And you're going to sign Edvinson to a team-friendly deal, just like you did with Sider and Raymond.
Yeah.
On top of, unfortunately, Casper isn't having a good season,
Yeah.
but he will be on a discount.
Mm-hmm.
That will what we all think he's going to be because he is a legitimate top 6 player in the NHL. He just needs some time and needs to find that puck luck that he hasn't been getting. But you saw that with the Bricket earlier in the year, and now he is 3rd in the NHL in goals.
It's a beautiful day to be a Red Wings fan.
Makes for a good Christmas.
1919.
That's it. Hashtag 1919.
How's the plan?
What do you think is the soonest that we could see a move?
Like what? Like a trade?
When's the deadline?
The end of February. Or maybe they moved it because of the Olympics.
When's the Olympic break?
February. Beginning of February.
Okay. I would say once you get a couple weeks into January, you're going to start seeing some things. And whether that's, like DMac said, maybe it's not this big splash move to bring in a piece, but it's just to move somebody out to open a space up for one of these younger guys.
Yeah.
And that could be something, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Where would you like to see something?
I've talked about a big asshole Canadian forward, and I still feel like that's something that I'd like to see. And I don't know exactly where you put him though, but if you can find a real deal 2C big asshole, and then you can bump Kopp down to the 4th line.
Yeah.
Comfer, see you later, buddy. Thanks for playing well, but like I think that or solidifying the back end of the defense is what you're going to look at.
I agree, absolutely.
Yeah, somebody brought it you're looking for a guy who can lug minutes, play up the middle, skate, probably big body, but you're also looking for number 4 D-man if you can so it all comes to durability. You know what I mean? Just to be in that position where you have, like a Comfer as a guy in and out of the lineup. Yeah. Means your lineup's pretty damn good. So and shout out to Kopp.
Shout out to Kopp.
Shout out, dude. Like
March 8th is the deadline.
To me, he's the adult in the room.
Yeah.
Out of I've said that about Sherratt, but and you look at when you go back to when they lost him last year, that's when their PK and everything shit the bed. So, he's done, and it's not because his contribution is not in the scoreboard.
No.
It's facilitating. It's getting DeBrincat going. It's different things.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for tapping in. Any last thoughts from either of you?
Oh,
D-Boss, the man. Shout out to you.
Man. Shout out to Dylan Larkin. I remember getting Dylan Larkin a beer when he was just a wee pup. It's a good day. It was Grand Prix. It was after he got drafted. He was in the tent. He was walking around. I was like, hey, you want a beer? He's like, yeah.
Attaboy, Sven.
Hey,
there we go. And then
I'm
he cashed in on OT winner tonight.
There it is.
Hey, I met him at the bar this summer. He was a beauty.
Great dude.
So shout out to him.
Larks is a great dude, man.
We'll have to get you on the pod one day.
Truly
that's a goal for the pod.
Goal for the pod.
We'll get there eventually. But for now, We have you guys, and we appreciate all of you guys. Have a very happy holiday. Enjoy being with your family. Enjoy being with us because we'll be here on the 24th and the 25th. So please stay tuned in, but we will see you in the next one. This has been Woodward Wings. Spenny, take them out.
Shout out to everybody who took care of business in this one. Shout out to Gibby. Again, 8 wins in a row for John Gibson. The Gray Bush is showing up, whether it's JVR, whether it's Gibby, whether it's Ben Sherratt. Those veterans leading the team and the young guys doing the dirty work. For Darren McCarty, for Justin Satawa, I'm Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Wings. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Holidays.
Happy holidays. We'll see you.